Greetings everyone, Brett Garsed here once again to talk about a fantastic Jason Sidwell track that he's invited me to play on called Sizzle, and I'll try to give you as best sort of recount of what I did during it, but you sort of got to bear in mind that 99% of this tune is improvised on my part. Jason wrote a fantastic track with a lot of rhythmic syncopation, and at first I did consider just copying the rhythm track, but I thought that was a bit of a cop-out, and I wanted to try and at least come up with some kind of little melody. So what I did was I came up with a melody that begins and then insert whatever comes into my mind in this space here, and ending on the E flat and D chords. So you've got a situation of that sort of thing. So your target note is the E flat. So in a sense, that's kind of an interesting little exercise you could use, where you have this target note to go for whilst in the context of improvising. It's a really good fun thing to do, and it really trains your improvisational mind to structure things in a way that's rhythmically and harmonically and melodically, so that they lead somewhere and you've got an end goal in sight. So that's a kind of a cool little exercise to do. The other thing about this particular melody was, I think the very first time I played that line, I just played it straight like that, and then I think during the next section I might have done my fake harmonizer, or not harmonizer, my poor man's octave pedal impersonation, which is to take a note. So it works great up around here. You can do it down lower, but up in this register here, it's really kind of cool. Just find any note you want, then the octave position for it, and do a false harmonic, just a pick harmonic. There we go, there it is right there. And I run my volume on about 8 on the guitar, so got a bit of gain. And then just adjust accordingly, as if this hand moves downwards, this one needs to move as well. So you get... And if you do pull-offs, sometimes you can get and hammer-ons, you can sort of simulate that there's more happening than there is, like... And if you bury the pick right here, this is sort of the technique I use sometimes, you can sort of get a... There we go. So it's kind of a fun thing to do. I actually used it on a tune called Food Fight off my Big Sky album, and also in the solo of another song from that album called Brothers. And that solo in particular, a lot of people would say, hey, what kind of octave pedal are you using? And I had to say, nah, it's not an octave pedal, I'm just faking it. So, like I do most things. But I thought that was a good sign that people actually did think it sounded like an octave pedal. It comes from an old lick I used to do, back when I was a kid. 17 or 18, and it was where was it? Something like that. Anyway, you get the idea. But yeah, I just used that to make it a bit more interesting. So it was now the actual technique there too, playing it, is I do two picked notes and then do a pull off. Kind of a nice little phrasing device to use. Anyway, that's basically the melody. such as it is, about 4 notes, and then everything in between is just improvised, as I said. So as far as the harmonic movement, you've just got, I'd sort of treat it like, well, it could be anything really, any kind of minor quality as far as the D chord goes, the G chord, I'm sorry. Sometimes I might refer to it in a Dorian way with the major 6. Maybe sometimes the minor 6. More Aeolian sound. Flat 5s abound, you know. And then all leading back to here, which I sort of treated that just mainly as just major arpeggios, just E flat and D. So, and then the D sort of treated it either like a 5 chord. So sometimes I'd play sort of a altered sort of thing, or maybe I'd treat it like a harmonic major, Phrygian major. I'm not sure what the money working around the flat 5, flat 5, flat 2, and the major and minor 3rd. And then or you could just blues it out, you know. You get that sort of deal. A really good way to get used to playing over changes like this, or any changes for that matter, is not that I'm an expert or anything, but this is what's helped me in the past, you can start off with a backing track, say like this. You can make your own backing track or a version similar to this and have groove, bass and some sort of harmonic thing happening like guitar or keyboards. And then as you get more comfortable with it, take away the harmonic content like the keyboards or the guitar and just have the groove and the bass. Then eventually take away the bass, and then eventually take away the groove, so you're just playing to your own internal meter or just tapping your foot. So say we're working on the verse changes after we go from the D7 chords. So go. So you get that sort of thing going, where it really helps to just sort of solidify the changes in your mind and help you find a melodic path through them. So hopefully what ends up happening is better to listen to and more entertaining. At the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. Hope this has been of help. Gear-wise, I've got my trusty old Strat that I've had since I was about 13. Everything else is different except for the volume and tone knobs and the body, but that's wear and tear for you. Virgil Arlo pickups, and I used the Axe FX 3 for this entire thing. No amps were harmed during the recording of this particular project. So thanks once again for your time, and thanks again to Jason and Guitar Techniques for just giving me such a wonderful opportunity to remind you I'm still alive and still trying to figure this thing out. All right, cheers.